good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2014 CIK FIA World Championships for the KF and KF Junior classes. We're here at Essay in France, about midway between the Normandy landing beaches and the iconic Le Mans circuit. This television presentation is brought to you by WSK Promotions. I'm Ken Walker. Well, we always start with a driver's presentation parade. It's always very colourful, and as you see just slightly to the left of your screen, in fact in full screen now, the grid girls with the flags of all of the nations racing here. We've got 161 drivers from 33 countries from all 6 continents, and let me tell you in the more or less alphabetical order which those countries are and who the drivers are. So, from South America, from Argentina, we have Franco Crivelli, Hernan Palazzo, Giorgio Emiliano Carrara, and the impressive Kevin Aaron Quevedo. From Australia, down under, we have Josh Tynan. Josh Tynan, the only Australian. And just to the right of your screen, the long hair there is the lady from Spain, Marta Garcia Lopez. From Austria, we have Simon Reicher from Austria. From Belgium, 5 drivers, Thibaut Aublin, Benjamin Lessen, Ulysse de Pauw, Gilles Magnus, and Kenny Rosens. Out of Europe again, this time to South America, Brazil, 7 drivers from Brazil. Sergio Sete Camara, Jose Artu Fortunato, Felipe Drugovich Roncato, the brothers Marcel Della Coletta, Murillo Della Coletto, Gabriel Camilo Sarrea, and Jose Victor Moraes Ochoa. From North America, from Canada, we have Cami Marrera Laliberte. Back into Europe, to Switzerland, 2 drivers, Luca Legere and Clement Novalak. Clement Novalak with Liechtenstein connections. Back to Asia, the People's Republic of China. We have Yifan Xia, Guan Yu Zhou, Sun Yu Yang, and Yifa Ye. From the Czech Republic, here in Europe, Andrei Koska. 9 German drivers. They are Hannes Janka, Niklas Kreh, Moritz Horn, Mick Jr., David Beckman, Felix Arnold, Janus Fitche, Lirim Zandelli, and the lady Sophia Flörsch. From Denmark, 7 drivers, Niklas Nielsen, Daniel Lundgaard, Kevin Rossell, Christian Thorsen, Christian Lundgaard, Kasper Roos Andersen, and Julius Lassen. 7 drivers from Spain, Pedro Hiltbrand, Jorge Carlos Pescador, Eliseo Martinez Morono, Marta Garcia Lopez, Daniel Martinez Clavel, Alejandro Lojas Lopez, and Xavier Lloveres Brunet. From the Baltic, from Estonia, Yuri Vips. From Northern Europe, from Finland, no fewer than 14 drivers, 14 Finns, Niko Kari, Tuomas Hapalainen, Artu Moilanen, Olli Peltola, Tuomas Toyula, Jussi Kusinimi, Villa Montula, Juuso Pohaka, Juho Valtanen, Johannes Heinonen, Paavo Tonteri, Konsta Lapalainen, Patrick Pasma, and Robin Sario. 15 drivers from Great Britain, Callum Eilert, Lando Norris, the reigning world champion Tom Joyner, Oliver Hodgson, Oliver Norris, Ben Hanley, Harry Webb, Enem Ahmed, Daniel Ticktum, Max Futrell, Ross Martin, James Pull, Joshua Francis Smith, Alex Quinn, and Archie Tillett. Back into Asia, first from Indonesia, we have Presley Martono. From India, 2 drivers, Johan Daravula and Kush Maini. 16 drivers from Italy, Alessio Lorandi, Felice Teini, Marco Maestranzi, Stefano Cuccio, Riccardo Negro, Matteo Vigano, Diego Bertonelli, Paolo Ippolito, Mario Matucci, Lorenzo Travisanuto, Leonardo Lorandi, Massimo Chinelli, Lorenzo Colombo, Davide Lombardo, Francesco Galetto, and bringing up the Italian 16, Alex. Back into Asia to Japan for Sato Marino from the land of the rising sun. Back into the Baltic, this time Lithuania, Rokas Bachuska. We have 5 drivers from the Netherlands. They are Martijn van Leeuwen, Bart Vergroost, Bent Vishkal, Rinus van Kalmthout, and Max Vering. 1 driver from Norway, Sindre Jonsson. The furthest travel driver, he's all the way from New Zealand, from Christchurch, New Zealand, Marcus Armstrong. 6 drivers from Poland. Let's start with the ladies, the girls, because we have Victoria Pankiewicz and Julia Pankiewicz, they're sisters. Karol Baj, Karol Dabski, Mikhail Grzib, and Szymon Ziszko. From Portugal, we have João Ferreira, Johan Azeda Sousa. From Romania, Dionysius Marcu. 10 drivers from Russia, Nikita Sitnikov, Nikita Mazepin, Igor Stupenkov, Alexei Korneev, Nikita Troicki, Jan Leon Shlom, Alexander Vatanyan, Artem Petrov, Sergei Trafnikov, Gleb Zotov. From Sweden, 11 drivers, Linus Lundqvist, Philip Hall, Emil Skara. 2 of their ladies, Lena van Skedvin and Jessica Backman. Back to the lads, Anton Hager, Rasmus Lind, Noah Millell, Hugo Neerman, Isaac Voltanen, and Philippe Martinson. From Thailand, Sasakorn Chaimankol. From the United States of America, Devlin DeFrancesco, Logan Sargent, and Juan Manuel Correa. From Venezuela, Sidney Gomez, Sebastian Fernandez Warbe, Maurizio Baetz. And from the continent of Africa, from South Africa, Julian van der Waart. And 16 drivers from the host nation, France. We're now playing the La Marseillaise, the national hymn of France. The French drivers are Gabriel Aubry, Paolo Bessoncenet, Julian Dara, Alexandre Gadouard, Nicolas Gonzalez, Alessandro Stura, Paul Everard, Tom Lurier, Jules Bollier, Giuliano Alesi, Alessandro Brozzoni, Tristan Charpentier, Nathan Edouin, Gabin Lurier, Alban Noguti, and Charles Milesi. Well, in total, they are 161 drivers from 33 countries and all 6 racing continents, only Antarctica not represented. Now, they came out behind the ladies carrying the nation's flags, but of course we also have the drivers line up in their team order. That's why you saw the groupings on screen. You're just looking now at the Sodi Tribune, the grandstand just past the start line, and that gets very packed during the racing. Really good view of the drivers. Good view of the racing as well. Well, I have to tell you that it's a little bit dull this morning. It has been a little bit damp. When we drove to the circuit this morning, there was very heavy rain. That's in contrast to the beautiful sunshine we had racing yesterday in the heats and on Friday for the start of the heats and qualifying practice, although the evenings have had thunderstorms, lightning, really, really heavy rain. But it's not so bad now. It's a little bit moist, and that presents a colourful sight, doesn't it? As I said at the top of the programme, SA is about midway between the northern Normandy coast, the Normandy landing beaches, and the iconic Le Mans circuit. This weekend, the venue for the 24 Heures du Mans for motorcycles, the 24-hour race for them. Well, the drivers have all been presented to the officials who were Kai Oberheider, the Executive Secretary of the CIK FIA, Jean-Pierre Deschamps, the President of the CNK, And Nicolas Deschaux, president of the FFSA. Nicolas Deschaux, for a short time, the president of the CIK. Well, this morning we've already had one of our races, the second chance heat. Daniel Lundgaard winning that, going through into the finals. Sadly, some of these drivers who are walking away will not return to the track. Those that didn't make it through the second chance heat, that's in the KF class. But in the KF junior class, everybody will come out for a pre-final. That will be the first of the races that we see. Then the second pre-final, you have to finish in the top 17 of the 34 starters to make it to the pre-final. Whereas everybody now, just having a quick shot, that's Tom Joyner to the left, the defending champion, just now out of shot. And Tom Joyner, the current reigning world champion, who won that title in Bahrain 10 months or so ago, I think it was. Rasmus Lien, the red-haired lad at the front there, driving for corridor. There's Jessica Backman with the long blonde hair, another of our ladies. Very, very sad tale to tell you about Jessica. She's just come 7th in the second chance heat, and the top 6 go through. So Jessica, I'm afraid we shan't be seeing anymore. There's Alessio Lorandi at the front of that Italian contingent. Now, that was a nice shot, wasn't it, moments ago that we had these. Well, the girls are a nice shot with the colourful flags. And have to say that this very, very attractive circuit in many ways. A little bit small, perhaps, by international standards, but a very attractive circuit. Devlin De Francesco there, chatting away as he usually does. And the guys making their way, or guys and ladies making their way. There is a lady coming in on cue. That's Marta from Spain. Our principal officials of the CIK. Mr. Horst Seidel, the chairman of the stewards. Mr. Philip Lachman of Belgium, international steward. And the national steward, Monsieur Michel Guignard of France. Race director Nigel Edwards, clerk of the course Hervé Lemonnier, and deputy clerk of the course Guillaume Langlais. Well, I think we're having, not sure if you can hear this, but I think we're having a little orchestra, a local orchestra, maybe even a school's orchestra, just playing some traditional airs. This is Normandy Bar, the lower Normandy area, and the traditional music of this country. There you see the flags prominent, the Brazilian flag well to the fore, the Chinese flag well to the fore, the South African flag to the right-hand side, Australian flag and New Zealand flags more or less side by side, the New Zealand one to the left, the Australian one to the right. Well, several of our nations were one-man team. Josh Tynan of Australia, Simon Reicher of Austria, Camille Marrero Laliberte of Canada, Andrei Koska of the Czech Republic, Jori Vips of Estonia, Presley Martono of Indonesia, Sato Marino of Japan, Rokas Baciuska of Lithuania, Sendra Jonsson of Norway, Marcus Armstrong of New Zealand, and Dionysius Marku of Romania. Sasakorn Chaimonkol from Thailand, and Julian van der Watt from South Africa. But we've got some big representation. Double figures for Sweden, 11. 14 from Finland, 15 from the United Kingdom, 16 from Italy. And of course our host nation producing a very strong entry, France producing 16 drivers. Well, I do hope you enjoyed our drivers' presentation parade. As I said, always a colourful occasion. Let me tell you what is happening next. After the grid is cleared from the driver presentation, we're going to have a historic carts demonstration. The historic carts here in France, coming from a very, very varied range. The years ranging from 1956, when the sport started, 1956, can you believe, up to 1984. I shan't be able to tell you who all the drivers are, but if we see the pictures, I will try to help you a little bit with who the drivers, what years those carts are from and the chassis and the motor. Well, there is a view of the serpentine of the circuit. That's towards the very end of this circuit here at SA. As you look to the bottom part of your screen, you can see that there's a real grade up from right to left. It's a climb there, and even a better show now, a climb to the start-finish line, but immediately a dip down to turn 1. There we are looking at the home straight. From the extreme left is the final turn